Hello and welcome to another episode of Discover with Spinetti. Today you're tuning in to episode number 142. Today we're talking about teeth whitening secrets, and we're actually talking about the number one secret that is not really talked about very often. A lot of people want white teeth. A lot of people want white teeth. Actually, I'd say the majority of people want white teeth, and they come to me specifically for that. And I recognize that more and more as I talk to more and more people, and that's their one of their wishes is that they want to have very nice white teeth. Now, we talked about what works in terms of the world of teeth whitening last week. So last Wednesday, we covered, I was wearing the exact same colored scrubs. And we talked about it last week. And today we're going to talk about the number one secret that really nobody actually addresses. I haven't seen it being addressed, I haven't seen it being emphasized. And so today we're going to address it. And what is that? It is the number one secret, which is to preserve your enamel. Now, the one thing that most people don't know, and most people actually don't know this, is that the enamel is the thing that actually gets your teeth white. It's nothing else. So your tooth is actually composed of three different layers. The first two layers, the first one is enamel. The second layer is dentin. Now, dentin is the layer that's underneath enamel. So enamel is the first one. So that's the first layer. The second layer is dentin. You have to actually visualize that. Now, if you wear down the enamel, the dentin doesn't become white. The only thing that actually whitens, or the only thing that makes your teeth appear white, is the enamel. That is incredibly crucial for this entire formula of teeth whitening. Now, how do you lose enamel? You lose enamel simply by doing things that cause you to lose enamel, which is acid attack and abrasion or erosion. Okay, so abrasion. So it's either going to be mechanical trauma or chemical trauma. Okay, those are two things, and only two things that can allow your enamel to actually go away from your tooth. Now, the thing that most people don't know is that there are things that if you're doing it over a long period of time, they will cause your enamel, the first layer of your tooth, the one that actually causes you to have white teeth, to actually go away. Now, the first thing that the majority of people do is they consume acidic foods and drinks. One of the things that I'm seeing more and more is that people are consuming carbonated drinks, such as sparkling water, or they're drinking, zero sugar, Coke, or zero sugar energy drinks, or whatever. Now, the thing is that if you're not careful on how you drink those things, then you can definitely erode your enamel. And if you erode your enamel, if you start chemically wearing away your enamel, remember, it's not going to get whitened, right? So that's when you start struggling with whitening your teeth. So that's number one. Another thing is with foods, okay, any kind of acidic foods like lemons, for instance. And people think that if they have, if they use the lemons and they scrub lemon on their teeth, that their teeth are going to become whiter. And I already addressed that before. And I said that, yes, you're definitely going to get whitening effect at the initial phases because you're removing the surface stains, but you're also removing your enamel. So when you remove your enamel, obviously the enamel part underneath the surface is going to show that part isn't really stained, and so it's going to get white, but now you're removing more and more of your enamel. The third is any kind of acid reflux. So if you have acid reflux, or you have any kind of acidity that is, any kind of vomiting, that is also another cause of getting rid of your enamel chemically. Brushing too hard. This is something I see so often, right? Whenever I go on trips with, the guys or whatever, I see people brushing like crazy, right? They brush like their life depended on it, and that's not the way for you to brush. So the best way for you to brush is for you to brush gently. Plaque, if you're brushing every day, plaque doesn't take much effort for you to actually remove it. The only reason why you use toothpaste is for you to have some extra fluoride in order for you to, to strengthen your tooth. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. And lastly, since I mentioned toothpaste, a lot of people are using abrasive toothpaste. Like when you're using the tooth whitening toothpaste or using charcoal toothpaste or any toothpaste that has high abrasivity, that's going to wear down your enamel. So that's really the number one thing that you really have to pay attention to, because if you wear down your enamel, remember, wear down your enamel, you're not going to get white teeth. No matter how much you whiten your teeth, you're not going to get it. What's the benefit of having very nice thick enamel? Well, number one, you're going to have decreased sensitivity, right? So you're not going to have sensitivity to foods and drinks, or every time that, you consume anything that would, for instance, trigger sensitivity with someone that doesn't have much enamel, you're going to have a lot whiter teeth because the enamel is thick. So the thicker the enamel, the more white your teeth. You're going to actually increase the longevity of your tooth because enamel is incredibly strong. As a matter of fact, enamel is the strongest substance of your entire body. It's stronger than bone, but it is very brittle by itself. So if by itself without the dentin underneath it, it's incredibly brittle. But with the dentin underneath it, it is the strongest, right? So it's very, very difficult to break, close to impossible, actually. And it also protects you against having decay, right? The less enamel that you have, the more chances that you have of getting cavities, and it also strengthens your tooth. Now, what if you've lost enamel and now you're like, okay, well, how can I gain it back? Unfortunately, you can't gain back enamel. Once you lose it, you lose it. But the number one thing for you to do if you've lost some of the enamel, or if you're encountering sensitivity, or if your teeth are constantly yellow, no matter how much you whiten, that means you've lost a lot of the enamel. Then the number one thing for you to do is for you to stop losing the enamel. So you want to stop the damage. And for you to do that, you have to do exactly what I just mentioned, previous, is for you to actually be careful with how you treat your teeth, right? So not brushing too hard, not brushing with abrasive toothpaste, not using anything that can erode your enamel, such as, lemon juice or any kind of carbonated drinks or anything that's acidic that's going to actually weaken the structure of your enamel. The second is fluoride. Okay, so and the best thing that you could do for yourself is when you go to your dentist every 6 months, is for you to put on, or to get the hygienist to put on, the fluoride varnish. Fluoride varnish has been, studies have proven time and time again that fluoride varnish actually works really well in actually strengthening your teeth, and it lasts for a long period of time up until your next visit. And what fluoride does is fluoride actually strengthens your teeth by a factor of 10 against acidic attack. And the way it does that, chemically speaking, the way it does that is that the structure of your tooth, organically speaking, like if you didn't have any fluoride, it's hydroxyapatite. Now, when you mix fluoride, it actually changes the structure of your enamel, believe it or not. It changes the structure of your enamel to fluorapatite. Now, fluorapatite is actually 10 times more resistant to acid attack than hydroxyapatite, 10 times. Now, that's huge. So if you really want to protect your enamel and you don't want to lose any more enamel, then the best thing for you to do is to make sure that you get that fluoride varnish on your teeth every 6 months when you go see your dentist. That's it. So that's the number one secret, is for you to preserve your enamel, because the enamel is the only thing that can get whitened. You can't whiten the dentin, and it is the secret sauce. The people that have the thickest enamel have the brightest, whitest teeth. If you struggle with this stuff and you want more advice, then feel free to reach out to us. We're very easily contactable at Spinetti Dentistry. You can visit our website and you can see our email or phone number. And until next time, and as always, keep smiling.